Hello everybody, thank you for checking out today's video. In this one we're going to be covering how to set up dependent choices on ServiceNow. Now we are on our favorite example, the incident form, and we're going to be using the category and the subcategory for our examples today. Now if you come over to category and you select one of these, let's say hardware for example, and then you come down to subcategory, you're going to see that it's going to show subcategories that are dependent on hardware being selected. Now, if we come over to software, you can see this list changes. Now, the reason for that is if we go over to the subcategory, we go to configure dictionary. And it may take a moment to load. Okay, there we go. All right, and then we come down to the choices. And let's go ahead and add in, is there a dependent option here? I don't think so. Oh, there it is. Sorry. So if we come over, let's actually move this over. A little bit easier to read if we do that. Go there. And then we'll filter it off this or sort it off this. Now, if we click on that, we'll see all of the different dependent values for the choices for the subcategory option or subcategory field. Now all of these options right here, Oracle, DB2, MS SQL Server, are all dependent on database being selected. Now this database value, all you have to do is if you go over to, let's actually open up the same thing so you guys can see how to grab that. So if we go over here and go to configure dictionary, and then come over to choices, you can see we're using the value. We're not using the label, we're using the value. And that's why you see this one, for example, database, the value is database. So if we wanted to create a new one for database, if we're on our subcategory and we come over here to new, and we'll just call this one YouTube test. And then for the value, we'll just put YouTube test, I guess. And then for dependent value, we'll put database, right? Because database is the value that we were looking at before. And after we do that, we can go ahead and hit save. And let me see if I can hit back. Make sure that it's there. And there it is, okay. And we don't have a sequence set up, but if you wanted to set up a sequence, you can, so that when you select the subcategory, that these would be in sequential order. So we could put like YouTube test first, DB2 second, MS SQL Server 3, but because we don't, it's not really relevant. So none of them had it in place to begin with, so I'm not going to go through and sequence all of them. But if we go back now to the incident form, and we go to database, well actually let's click on this for example. You can see we don't see YouTube test there. We don't see it here, but let's go to database and see if it shows up. And there it is. It's right there, YouTube test. So it is that easy to set up dependent choices on these select boxes. So it's a great tool to have because I mean you guys saw how many were on here. There was a crazy amount. So imagine all of these were showing up for every single one. You clicked on database and you had 20 something different values to select from. It gets very cluttered. So it's great to set up those dependent values so that, for database, we only have a handful showing up. Hardware, we only have a handful. Inquiry, network, software, etc. All right, guys, if you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a like. Please also consider subscribing to the channel. Catch you all in the next one very soon.